Doing great, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the perfect loadout for each operator and the different types of attachments, which one should we use and which ones to shun.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow.
Let's get started pretty quick here. We have 5 types of barrels which are varying through the different guns. However, I'm going to show the benefits and downsides of each of them. Therefore, you could decide which one to use for your gun. First of all, we have Flash Hider. Basically, what Flash Hider does, that reduces your vertical kick. As you can see, this is Flash Hider recoil pattern. Now, if you take a look here, you can see that the distance between each bullet has been reduced. This basically means that I'm going to experience less vertical kick when I'm trying to control recoil. And now for the compensator. For compensator, basically this barrel does control your horizontal kick, meaning that it avoids your gun to kick in left or right direction. As you can see, one more time. Yeah, take a look at this. My recoil is almost straight to the top. So if you are struggling with the gun's horizontal kick rather than the vertical kick, you should use a compensator. And I'm going to perfectly control the recoil here for a sec. As you can see, I'm experiencing a little bit more of vertical because this barrel doesn't do that, but my horizontal kick is absolutely better. Now moving on to the third one, which is muzzle brake. Muzzle brake is only meant to be used for guns which do single tap, like the DMRs or sniper rifles. However, I'm going to show the benefit of it to you. Muzzle brake controls the recoil of a single bullet. Basically what that means is if I try to one tap like so, single tap, I'm experiencing very little recoil, and that's because of the muzzle brake. It reduces the kick of your first bullet, only that. And I don't recommend this on anything besides the DMRs. And moving on to the suppressor. Suppressor has 2 main benefits. First one being that it hides the line of your gun, of the bullets that are shot from your gun. And secondly, so it avoids your position to be revealed. And second thing, it basically does reduce the sound of your gun, making it harder for enemy to compromise you through the map. And it doesn't control any type of recoil at all. It doesn't affect it. It's the same recoil as you're not using anything on your gun. Moving on to the extended barrel, basically what this does is that it increases the overall damage of your gun, whether it's in long range or short range. It increases base damage by 3%, I suppose, and the long range damage as well. And once again, this doesn't do any type of recoil control for you. Now, let's move on to the grips. We have 3 types of grips since year 9 season 1, which first one is the horizontal grip, and I'm going to equip a flash hider in order to control my recoil. Basically what the horizontal grip does is that it doesn't know such a thing as recoil control for you. It doesn't affect your recoil. However, one of its main benefits is that it increases your movement speed by 5% once again, or 10%, I'm not sure. Meaning that your operator will move faster through the different parts of the map. So this is more likely to be recommended on like heavier operators like Doc, Rook, or Melusi. Basically the defender operators which are armor 3, and you want to play frag with them, it helps you to move a little bit quicker. Only 10%, nothing too big, but it also helps that, like so. Moving on to the vertical grip, basically what this grip does, it reduces your vertical recoil once again, And if you want to experience the least amount of recoil you can get on a gun, you should equip a flash hider and a vertical grip, because it helps you to control your recoil as far as it is possible on your gun. And last one is the angle grip. Angle grip used to do another thing, which was making your operator to aim faster, ADS faster. But nowadays it does a different task. Basically it is that it helps your operator to reload like a little bit quicker. If you are down by your mag and you want to quickly reload, you should use this angle, which I don't use this that much. I'm going to mention why later on in the video, because you don't need to reload so fast or frequently. Whenever you're trying to reload, you're basically in cover. So 1 second or 2 seconds doesn't make that much of a big of a difference. And now, moving on to my operators and their attachments. Basically, I just forgot the laser. And for the laser, it does reduce the time to aim down sight with your operator. As you can see, if I unequip the laser, and which it didn't get unequipped for some reason. Let me check. Yeah, as you can see, I have no laser equipped now, and it takes a little bit longer to aim to ADS. Actually, as you can see, it takes forever, bro. And if I want to equip this again on my gun, you'll see a little bit of a difference. As you can see, I'm able to aim faster or ADS faster. Striker on attack, I use the M4 gun with an extended barrel and a vertical grip plus laser. I equip laser sights on all my operators, so I won't be mentioning that further in the video. And for this attachment, for his attachments, I use extended barrel and vertical grip. And try to avoid using an extended barrel with horizontal grip, because it gives a certain amount of recoil and kind of sacrifices your accuracy on the gun. And I use the shotgun plus the M4 with the mentioned attachments. Let's go for the second operator, sledge. On sledge, I use horizontal grip and flash hider. Flash hider helps me to experience less amount of recoil, and horizontal grip helps with actually boosting the speed of my operator. As you can see, if I equip something like this, vertical grip, you can see on the very bottom right corner almost, the mobility section says that run speed modifier -5%, meaning that your operator won't be faster. And if I equip this, you'll have an extra 5% more speed on sledge operator. Same thing for Thatcher, same gun and the same loadout as well. On Ash, I use vertical grip and flash hider. Basically with Ash, you don't need it to get any faster, because she's already a speed 1 operator. Therefore, don't sacrifice anything for more speed. Just put on the vertical grip and the flash hider. Nevertheless, if you feel like you can control the recoil, you can always equip an extended barrel on it. It gives like 4 more. It adds 4 more damage to the gun, which is fine. And I use the 21 bullet round pistol with suppressor, and I run a suppressor on all my pistols because it helps. Because I basically don't need to control the pistol's recoil, therefore it's okay, and it helps you to shut off cams sometimes with less sound cue. Moving on to the thermite, I use the horizontal grip plus the flash hider with a 2x, of course. On Twitch, I use the flash hider, laser, and ACOG, of course. And don't use anything like extended barrel or suppressor on Twitch. The gun already has enough recoil on it, so no need it. And we have the pistol once again with suppressor. For Monty, I run this P9 pistol, again with a suppressor. For glass, I use vertical grip because this is a single shot gun. Therefore, you need to maintain your accuracy and don't sacrifice it for more speed or faster reload speed. Just run the muzzle brake and vertical grip. And you should always run muzzle brake on all your DMRs, whether it's a DMR or glass gun. For his bearing 9, I use extended barrel on this SMG plus hollow A. And I'm feeling comfortable with the recoil. However, if you ever felt that your recoil or your accuracy is overall not that great and you miss your shots sometimes on certain opportunities, just switch the extended barrel with a flash hider and enjoy your life. Don't ever try to sacrifice your accuracy over anything else. It's the most important fact. For AK-12 of fuse, I use vertical grip plus flash hider and magnified A. Once again, if you feel comfortable with your recoil, I move in between the loadouts. Sometimes I equip the horizontal grip. Depends on the range that I'm going to pick. And for my secondary weapon, I use PMM with a suppressor equipped, of course. For blitz, nothing too important, just the P12 and suppressor. For IQ, however, I run the commando with an extended barrel because this gun doesn't have lots of recoil and it is easily controllable. It is easy to control the kick with an extended barrel plus the vertical grip. Never use a horizontal grip plus the extended barrel. It does unreasonable amount of recoil to your guns. Moving on to the buck, I always use the extended barrel on buck because the recoil is decent, although it doesn't come with a grip, but nevertheless. And I always use the gun 6 on certain situations plus the hard breach because buck himself is a soft breacher. Moving on to the Blackbeard, I use horizontal grip and extended barrel. Well, this one is an exception because the Blackbeard's gun has been significantly nerfed. If you equip a flash hider, it does like 40 damage with 500 fire rate. It's total shit. Therefore, always use an extended barrel on it and use the horizontal grip. This gun doesn't have a lot of recoil. It is like ridiculously easy to control it. Therefore, we use the horizontal grip to increase your movement speed. Owing to the ability of Blackbeard, when you equip his shield, your movement speed will also reduce furthermore. So just use the horizontal grip. For Capital, I use his Parua 308. Once again, with extended and vertical grip, this gun does huge damage with an extended grip equipped, plus the gun 6. For Hibana, I've chosen to use I've chosen compensator and vertical grip because this gun does a little bit of recoil to the left and right, and she's once again already a speed 1, so you don't need to equip the horizontal grip on it. Moving on to the Jackal, for his PW, I use the PW9 on most cases, plus an extended barrel to increase the damage of it. This gun doesn't do a lot of damage on its own, and the vertical grip once again to control my recoil. Moving on to the next operator, for Ying, I always use the horizontal grip. Now, try your best using horizontal grip on LMGs because LMGs reduce your movement speed furthermore. So if you ever choose to bring an LMG, try your best to control the recoil with a horizontal grip. Moving on to the next operator. Oh, I messed up. After Ying, we have Zofia. Zofia has a kind of a crazy gun. Both of her guns are a little unreasonable nowadays in terms of recoil. However, I have chosen flash hider and the vertical grip. Sometimes the compensator does pay off well. However, flash hider is better in most of the cases. And don't equip anything else beside this on this gun. This gun does like crazy recoil. And I don't use her light machine gun that much because she's already a heavy operator. And if you use a LMG on a heavy operator, it's going to decrease your movement speed even more. For 𝐤𝐞, I use most of the times I choose to go with the DMR plus muzzle brake and vertical grip. Once again, this is a DMR. You're trying your best to to experience least amount of recoil because you need to be precise with your shots. For SMG-12, nothing too important, just equip the vertical grip. Anything else beside this is unreasonably uncontrollable. And I sometimes use the boss cheese. This boss cheese is also a great gun. However, use the angle grip on boss cheese because nevertheless, if you equip the vertical grip, it's not going to control the recoil that much. It's a single shot gun. Therefore, use the boss cheese with an angle grip. The reason being that with the angle grip, you will be able to reload faster, and due to the fact that this gun has only 2 bullets per magazine, you should be able to reload faster through your gunfights. This is the only exception. Moving on to the Lion, I run a flash hider and horizontal grip to keep this operator faster. For Finka, however, I kind of cycle between her loadout depending on the situation, but most of the times I use her LMG with vertical grip and flash hider. You can also choose to use a horizontal grip. It is also good with this operator. And for her Spear 308, I use extended barrel plus a vertical grip. You don't sacrifice that much of accuracy on this gun. Maverick has the same loadout as Striker, so we are not going to go through that. For Nomad, however, I've chosen to go with compensator and vertical grip. However, you can also use an angle grip with flash hider. This also pays off pretty well and helps you to reload quite faster because this gun also has a smaller magazine. Therefore, an angle grip can help you reload faster in between your gunfights. Only try to use the angle grip on the guns which don't have a huge magazine. Okay, moving on to the next operator, we have Gridlock. For Gridlock, I run her with the LMG and horizontal grip plus flash hider. This for horizontal grip helps your operator to move faster once again, and this LMG doesn't have that much of recoil. Therefore, there are no holding max. For 𝐚𝐤𝐞, I use her main FMG and I use an extended barrel plus laser. This gun also has decent recoil, therefore you don't need to put anything else on it to further reduce the recoil. For next up, you have 𝐼𝐤𝐤. For 𝐼𝐤𝐤, I always use flash hider plus horizontal grip. The reason being that once again this operator has an LMG, and if you are going to choose the LMG, it doesn't have that much of a recoil. Horizontal grip is just fine. And for her SMG, I've chosen to go with extended barrel because I'm feeling comfortable with the recoil. If you ever felt like you're sacrificing your precision over anything else, just don't do it. Try to optimize your loadout as precise as possible. Moving on to the 𝐾𝐤𝐤. 𝐾𝐤𝐤 has nothing really mentionable. Besides this gun, I'm going to go with extended barrel and hallway. Nothing too important. For Ayana, however, we have this is also another operator in which I've chosen to cycle between their loadout. However, for his G36, I use compensator and a vertical grip. This gun has high amounts of horizontal recoil, therefore the compensator pays up pretty well, and it doesn't have that much of vertical recoil. It is easily controllable. For her 𝐼𝐤𝐥12, I always use the flash hider and the horizontal grip. Once again, if you felt like you need to, you can change your loadout a little bit. My bad, not the horizontal grip, the angle grip. Next up we have Ace. For Ace, I always use the vertical grip and the flash hider to maintain my precision on this gun. You have to be very precise with Ace. And next up we have, what was his name? Zero. We have Zero, and for his main gun I use extended barrel and horizontal grip. This gun doesn't have any recoil at all. Just use that extended barrel plus horizontal grip and enjoy your gunfights. It does 50 damage with higher fire rate. Next up we have his MP7. For MP7 I've chosen to go with extended barrel. This one is also does the job for you. For Flores, however, we have his main gun, and I always use the flash hider and horizontal grip. This gun is one of the less recoil guns in the game, therefore horizontal grip is just fine. And moving on to the OSA, I always use this PW9, and this is kind of controversial. I sometimes go with the horizontal grip, and sometimes when I feel it like I need more precision with this crazy gun, I just go and choose the vertical grip. It's also great. And his I don't know, main gun is like the same as the 𝐋𝐢𝐤𝐤𝐿. No problem with that. Next up we have Sens. For Sens, I use the extended barrel and the horizontal grip because this one is also a heavy operator, and if you use the horizontal grip you can help to boost it a little, and the gun doesn't do tons of damage, so just equip the extended barrel. However, if you ever felt like you need more precision, just change the horizontal grip. The movement speed is not as important as your damage, so try to do more damage instead of increasing your movement speed. Next up we have Commando. For Green, which is the same loadout as IQ, I'm not going to mention it. For Brava, it's all the same thing as Capital. Ram, however, I have chosen to go with horizontal grip on Ram because this one is a heavy operator and the recoil is pretty decent for me. I can control it. Once again, if you felt like you couldn't take this much recoil, just choose the vertical grip and go ahead and choose the extended barrel for this gun. That also does pretty well. Next up we have Demos. For Demos, I use horizontal grip and flash hider. This gun also doesn't include a lot of recoil. It's easily controllable. Moving on to the Defenders, we have Sentry. For his main gun, I've chosen to go with vertical grip and hollow plus the extended barrel. And Shotgun has nothing to offer in its loadouts. Next up we have Smoke. Shotgun is also not necessary. However, for the SMG-11, I also use the extended barrel. Once again, if you felt like you're sacrificing your precision, just go on and use the flash hider instead of the extended barrel. As you can see, the Mute has the same loadout. No debate on that. Next up we have Castle. For Castle, I sometimes go with extended barrel and vertical grip, but this one is also fine with a horizontal grip. I'll leave that up to you guys. For UMP-47, I use extended barrel and horizontal grip. Once again, this is the same gun as Castle. You can use the vertical if you felt uncomfortable with the recoil. For Doc, for his MP5, most of the time I run extended barrel with the vertical grip. Rook has also the same loadout, and for P90, I always use the extended barrel. The recoil is just fine for me, but I know some people who don't feel comfortable controlling the recoil of this gun. If you ever felt, you could change it to the flash hider. Don't hold back. For next up we have Capgun. For Capgun, I've chosen extended barrel and vertical grip. Afterwards we have Tachanka. For Tachanka, it's better to use the vertical grip and extended barrel because anything else beside these two makes the gun go too much to the left and right. And don't use this light machine gun, it's just shit fire rate. For Jaeger, however, I use flash hider and vertical grip, the simplest loadout ever. And quick tip here, if you're trying to use like guns with 1x, meaning holography, just try to build your loadout as precise as possible. Next up we have Bandit. For Bandit, I run the extended barrel on it. I have no problem controlling the recoil. For Frost, however, I use the extended barrel once again with the vertical grip. For Valkyrie is just fine with the horizontal and extended at the same time, same as cap gun, but I rather have more precision than movement speed or reload speed, therefore I try my best to use the vertical grip. 𝐒𝐤𝐤 doesn't come with anything too special, just equip the extended barrel on the main gun and nothing more, nothing less. For Echo, however, just choose the horizontal grip. This guy is like speed 2 and the gun doesn't include a lot of recoil. For Mira, I decided to go with vertical grip and extended barrel. Quick tip here, if you're trying to build your best loadout, just cycle between the loadouts and the guns plus the attachments. I'm going to give you a base about each gun that I use, but in the end, it is better for you to try figure that out on your own. Each person has different muscle memory and treatment with their aiming device, whether it's the keyboard, MK, or controller. So that's up to you guys. For Legion, next up I have vertical grip and extended barrel. Ella, I use the compensator plus the vertical grip. The recoil is most likely to be horizontal, so just use the compensator. Next up we have Vigil. Vigil is fine with an extended barrel, but sometimes it goes a little crazy. You can choose the flash hider instead sometimes. Maestro, not one of my main operators, but just horizontal grip just does fine for me, because this operator is at the same time both heavy and and carries a light machine gun, meaning that you're going to experience a very turtle-like movement in map. Next up we have Alibi. For Alibi, I run the vertical grip and extended barrel. The recoil is just fine, but sometimes for some people it's going to be harder to control. You can use a flash hider easily. Next up we have Clash, which has the same gun as Kali. I'm not going to demonstrate that. For Kate, however, I run the extended barrel on the horizontal grip. This submachine gun has almost zero recoil, so no problem with that. For Mozzie, once again, I use the vertical and extended on Commando 9. And for the Roni, I've chosen to go with extended barrel and angle grip. This is also one of the smaller size magazine in the game, so try using an angle grip if possible, if you are not sacrificing your accuracy once again. Next up we have Warden. It has the same loadout as mentioned before, so I'm not going to go through with that. For Vector of 𝐒𝐤𝐤, I use extended barrel and vertical grip. This has also done just fine for me. For Wamai's gun, I've chosen to go with extended barrel and magnified aim, that's all. Oryx has the same gun as Legion, I'm not going to mention that. Same as Melusi, same loadout, same thing. For heavier operators, once again, I'm going to emphasize this, if you're not sacrificing your precision, you can swap the vertical grip with horizontal grip or angle grip if needed. And next up we have Aruni. Aruni has the same loadout as Dokkaebi and Melusi and sorry, what was the name? Mozzie. However, on Aruni, I've decided to go with their horizontal grip to increase your movement speed a little bit more. You don't want to reload frequently. That's a little controversial. Next up, we have Thunderbird, and for her main gun, I use flash hider and vertical grip. Anything else beside this gives a little bit too much recoil, but extended barrel would also do just fine sometimes. and same as the SMG, extended barrel. Next up we have Thorn. For Thorn is almost easy. This gun has near zero recoil. You can use the extended barrel and equip the horizontal grip or angle grip if you wanted to, if you ever intend on doing so at the same time. But as I've mentioned, I'd rather that little much of precision over my movement speed or reload speed. For Azami, once again, horizontal grip, vertical grip, and extended barrel. Next up we have Solace. For Solace, I've chosen to go with extended barrel and the SMG-11 with the same loadout as mentioned before. Same thing for Fenrir, we have already mentioned this loadout. Next up we have Tobaro, which I believe it's our last operator to go through. I run vertical grip and extended barrel on it. Okay everyone, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful for yourself. If you ever wanted to get better at 𝐷6, just follow this playlist that I'm going to make today. I'll be posting more of these educational clips of Rainbow Six Siege. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications and notification bell, plus like on all videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.